Mike and Leel.
Hey,
keep it real.
Hey, I feel like an
top
MC myself. We should be in the top 5.
Yeah, better than Lil Yachty.
There it is. So you listen to Mike and Lil keeping it real. You hear the real statements, and then you just throw on ESPN. Come on, what better you want? What better you want?
Hey kids, get tucked in the bed. Or y'all ready for y'all bedtime story? Well, there was these 2 radio hosts named Mike and Leel, and they had the greatest show.
Seems like I'm not dealing with 16 games of this year.
First of all, this is it. What are you, Michael Jackson? I don't understand what in the world is going on. I mean, I know it's the Bills. I know they were bad, but damn, you can't stay to the end of that game and decide if you want to retire or not. It's that bad that you got to leave at halftime.
The injury happens in the 3rd quarter or the 4th.
You know what I'm saying?
You never know.
You never know, but damn.
I know.
At a
I'm not
halftime,
taking this side.
just packing it up and just saying,
You've never seen
I'm
anything
done.
like it.
Better yet, they even got to interview the president of Cortland. Kids, you know what's crazy? Mike and Lil even had callers from kids that called their show up.
Shout out to Cortland Purple versus Homer.
And yes.
Well, then again, never mind. It looks like y'all kids fell asleep after all. A lot of the stuff me and Mike say on this show always seem to come to pass. Alright? That's why we are one of the realest sports shows out here. Alright?
Get mad flavor in your head. Here comes the brand new flavor in your head. Time for new flavor in your ear.
I want to know why you didn't take my support. If you don't tell the public, if the public never find out, at least I know. In Atlanta, it's going to be hot, okay? Like Nelly said, it's getting hot in here. It's going to be getting hot in Atlanta because now you got Calvin Ridley, Muhammad Sanu, and Julio. You already know what the dealio. It ain't about taking the show. You take 2 shots low. Even radio was low. And when we got that mic, so you listen to Mike and Lil keeping it real. You hear the real statements, and then you just go on ESPN. Come on, what better you want? What better you want? What better you want? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to keep it real. It's time for the Black Hole to make a big pick. The last before they go to Vegas. Under a new coach from John Gruden, they need to stock up that defense. The secondary left too many big plays last year. On the little signals that the players give, it's just like outlaw. Unbelievable. We get kicked while we're down, and while we're down, we get spit on. It's a joke. Been damn near 40 years, all right? It didn't take no one to build the off that long. Look, come on, man. We need something going good for New York City, all right? Because New York is the city of all cities. And we need to be put on the map. It's about time the Knicks do something. He shouldn't be opening his mouth for nothing. I don't know who interviewed him. Listen, I wish I could find out who interviewed him because I don't know why you giving O.J. Simpson, a murderer, a platform to talk about athletes. Man, Ray Allen, and I'm surprised you even still have social media after you got caught with that catfishing scandal. Your social media should be shut down. All right? Because you took a big L. All right? You took a big L. Right on the forehead. And that shiny forehead you got. So it's about fitting LeBron James. So when LeBron James leaves, if a team is constructed to fit you, what you think is going to happen once that player, you try to massage his feet, massage his back. What you think is going to happen? Remember that? That cannot sell strippers to the hoop to try to get them to play for your organization. I mean, that would definitely get me in the door. An interview like that. Does that make you want to listen to it out more or what? Hell no! Boy, you better run for your life. You better run for your life. Alright? Your career is hanging in the balance. Stop messing with these hard gas. Please!
Black flavor in your head. Here comes the brand new flavor in your head. Time for new flavor in your ear.
One more thing. Yup, Jim Carter's a hard man to stop. And it's Wednesday, November the 27th, Central New York. It's time for Mike and Leel. Leel, what do we do?
Y'all know we keep it real. That's what we do here on this
program. The line
program.
of the day is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. It's a snowy Tuesday here in Cortland, New York, as it's time to kick off another episode. We got 2 left in the season, a couple weeks left in the semester. Can't wait to get home. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving break and had a great holiday. And it's time to kick off another great episode of Mike and Leel.
Yes, sir. Y'all know how it is. We have 2 more episodes left in the entire Mike and Leel history. For a couple seasons, we have been taking over the FM airwaves, and now it's time for us to end off how we started, coming out swinging. And we're going to get right into it. The Packers fall to the Vikings 24-17 and have a 3% chance of making the NFL playoffs. Mike, what do you think about this, man? What are your thoughts on the game? What do you think about these Green Bay Packers, or should I say Green Bay Slackers? All right, what's going on up in there in Wisconsin?
Well, I mean, if I could talk about the game, Kirk Cousins really came to play.
Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins quit now.
He played really well on Sunday night, man. I got to tell you, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of criticism about Kirk Cousins, that he can't win the big game. His record in primetime games is not good at all. It's nothing pretty, nothing to call home about. And people are starting to question, was he worth the contract that Minnesota gave him? And he hasn't been playing like it so far, but Sunday night was a big game. Teams needed that one. The Vikings came out on top. I believe that the Vikings are the better team. The only thing that gives the Packers the advantage is that guy in Aaron Rodgers. And there's been a lot of talk about him. There's been a lot of talk about Mike McCarthy, who's on the hot seat there in Green Bay. And a ton of struggles for that team. And Aaron Rodgers, he's not innocent, because he's not played to the ability of Aaron Rodgers. He's been having a little bit of an off year. I don't know if there's a little bit of lingering of the injury, but I thought coming into this season, we were going to see the revitalized Green Bay Packers. I thought we were going to see them back. I thought this NFC playoff picture that was so good last year and so strong with such good, talented teams, I thought it was going to be even more talented this year. And, you know, we're seeing a lot of teams coming out of nowhere that are actually pretty good. We see the Cowboys back in the playoff picture. A couple weeks ago, I said they were going to be out there. I wasn't going to agree with it. I didn't think they were going to be back in the playoff picture, but hey, that's the reason of the whole season. The reason of all these games. Like I said, if they can win their divisional games, that's a big deal, and that's what the Cowboys had. That's what happened for the Cowboys, and that's what happened for the Vikings Sunday night. They're able to win that game. They stay within somewhat of a reach of Chicago, who holds on to first place, but that wild card spot, Minnesota was able to take that with that one over Green Bay. But there's been a lot of problems in Green Bay, Lil.
A lot of problems, and I feel like a lot of it is supposed to go to Paul McCartney. Or whatever this guy's name is.
Mike McCartney.
Mike McCartney. You feel me? But at the end of the day, man, the Packers have all the talent in the world to actually compete in the NFL. You have Aaron Rodgers, who is the most talented quarterback in the NFL. And he has an arm. We all know about that. You all know that his fourth quarter heroics, that, you know, when the game is close, you know what's going to happen when he has the ball. If he has the ball last, he's a very talented quarterback. He missed out on a few throws in that game that paid pivotal. It was 14 up, and they had a chance to hit Devontae Adams on the sideline, and he missed out on the throw. You don't normally see Aaron Rodgers miss out on a couple throws. Maybe it has something to do with the injury. I don't know, but I also do put the blame on the play calling, because, you know, McCartney has been, you know, calling plays himself for amount of years, and sometimes, man, you just need to, get you an offensive coordinator or something, because he's about to get shown the door. You cannot have Aaron Rodgers on your team for the last couple of years and not make the daggone playoffs for the last 2 years. It's impossible. The Green Bay Packers haven't done nothing really spectacular since 2011 when they won the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right? They have not did anything really spectacular. Outside of those Hail Marys was the only thing spectacular they did. Yes, they made the playoffs a few times, but they came up short. They got stomped by Atlanta a couple years ago in the playoffs. So Green Bay really has not done nothing since 2011, really, honestly, outside of those heroics with Aaron Rodgers. And it's about time that, they move on from McCartney, because I'm not going to put the blame on Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers obviously shows you that he could, lead a team. You saw what happened in the beginning of the season when they were down 20-0. What happened? We thought Aaron Rodgers was out for the season. Aaron Rodgers came back to the stadium on a donkey like he was Jesus Christ going into Jerusalem, and actually brought them back and actually won that football game. So I'm not going to put none of the blame on Aaron Rodgers for their struggles. He's playing hurt, and he's putting his team in position to win the game. Yes, I said he missed a few throws, but I think it has to do with the head coach. He needs to get out of there. Honestly, it's about time, because the Green Bay Packers cannot have Aaron Rodgers at their disposal and not make the playoffs. Unacceptable.
And especially with the weapons that they have in offense. But we've known that the Achilles heel of this team, in my opinion, has been the running game, but it's actually shown it's been the defense. And the defense is not good at all. I mean, you got Clay Matthews. That's really about it. Other than that, their defense is pretty much completed. Their secondary is shot. I mean, their best defensive player was Clinton Dixon, which they sent off by the trade deadline. The defense needs major improvements, and it's showing that. And it doesn't just take a great quarterback to win. The Saints have had a ton of years that they went 7-9, which you agree. I mean, it happens to his best quarterback. You see it. It is a down year, but it's just another year off of Rodgers. And it's a problem. And it's starting to, it's a little bit of a concern, because now this coach, there's a question of the head coach. We're going to bring a change of head coach to a veteran quarterback, one of the best in the league, with a proven quarterback, a proven team that's won a Super Bowl with weapons on the offense. It's a problem. It's room for concern, and I don't see this team. It would take a win and a prayer for them to get into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, it's going to take a whole lot of prayer.
They got to win out, and they're going to need a lot of teams to win.
They're going to need their fan base to pray for them. They're going to need people outside their fan base to pray for them. They even going to need prayer to pray. All right, that's how much slimmer their chances of making the playoffs. They even gonna need prayer to pray. All right, you ever seen prayer? No, they gonna need that to happen in order for them to make the playoffs. Because as far as my estimation, I'm looking at the clock right now. It's about over. The Green Bay Packers is not making the playoffs at all, and they have to pack it up. And we'll see what happens moving forward if they move on for Mike McCartney. But Jimmy Graham, I want to see him get more involved in that Green Bay offense. He was one of the best tight ends in football. People was arguing, is it Gronk? Is it Graham? And then, out of nowhere, now it's Kelsey. So Jimmy Graham, he got to be a factor in that offense, because having a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers and having a vital tight end with Jimmy Graham is supposed to be, that's supposed to be the connection right there. That was supposed to be top 5, top 10 combos in the NFL this year. Probably top 3. But, it's not happening. So we'll see what happens going forward. But moving on to the Vikings now to discuss their part of the bargain. Kirk Cousins finally showed up in a big stage. All right, it's about time this brother show up. All right, do you like that? Yeah, I like that. It's about time this brother showed up, because we all know, like you alluded to earlier in the segment, Mike, when you said Kirk Cousins has not performed well in primetime games, and you're right. He doesn't perform in primetime games, but now, in this game, he showed that he was the captain. Captain Kirk, that's what they call him, and he led his team down the field, made a couple nice throws. He was doing his thing, and that's what they need. All right, they got obliterated the game before against Chicago. All right, they looked set out just like crazy. All right, but Kirk Cousins came into this game throwing for 342 yards, outplaying Rodgers. He literally outplayed Rodgers. So it wasn't like it was the team fault of Green Bay. It was you know what I'm saying? 342 yards compared to Aaron Rodgers' 198 yards. 3 touchdowns compared to Aaron Rodgers' 1 touchdown, I believe. Nope. Yeah, 1 touchdown, exactly. So he came out, he performed, and his wide receivers came up big for him. Adam Thielen, 8 receptions for 125 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 77 yards, 8 receptions, 1 touchdown. Kyle Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. He performed. He did his thing. Dalvin Cook did his thing out in the backfield. The Minnesota Vikings have all the weapons in the world to actually compete in the NFC. Their offensive line is not as good as it was last year, obviously. I'm noticing that. So I kind of give Kirk Cousins the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But with a team as, deep as the Vikings are, to be 6-4, I'm not that impressed. But at least they got the victory on a primetime game. And we're going to see what happens moving forward with these two teams.
Yeah, and Minnesota goes to Foxborough on Sunday. That's gonna be a good one. Vikings, Patriots. Possible Super Bowl. You never know.
I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Know.
We never know. We'll never know. But one thing we ain't never gonna know is what's gonna be next. What drama is next up in the Middlelands? We ain't never gonna know. There's always something to expect in the Middlelands. There's gonna be some soap operas. There's gonna be some divas. There's gonna be some non-believers. There's gonna be some non-achievers. You hear me? You tune into Mike and Leel keeping it real. The Giants were 3-8. They fell to the Eagles on Sunday, 25-22, despite being up 19-3. 19-3. Listen, I'm not a Giants fan by any means of the necessary, but since I'm a native New Yorker, New York City to be exact, I have a little place in my heart for these Giants where I actually want them to succeed. Not too much till they end up going and beating my Patriots in the Super Bowl, but to some extent, I want to see them doing good because I like OBJ. I think he's talented. I believe Saquon Barkley is the real deal. And matter of fact, before I go anywhere into this game, I normally don't do this on the Mike and Leel show or any show. I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna do this. I was wrong. I'm gonna say it like this, Mike. I was wrong. I remember all last year, including the season, I said the Giants was wrong with taking Saquon at number 2 or at number 3. It was number 2. I was wrong, right? They should have took Sam Darnold. That's what I've been saying all along, and I've been vouching for it. But the more and more I see this brother Saquon Barkley, I was wrong. And I'm not afraid to admit why I was wrong at all. I was wrong. Saquon Barkley is the real deal. This brother is going to be the best running back in football in the future. I'm telling it right now. You heard it from me on Mike and Leel keeping it real. When we go off air and we not on anymore, remember these notes. Is what I tell y'all, all right, today. Because I'm going to be spending a lot of truth. Me and Mike going to be spending a lot of truth on this show. You hearing it on this show first. Saquon Barkley is going to be the best player. He's the best running back in football in a couple of years. All right, once he get a good offensive line that could actually make lanes for him to be able to go through like it's a bowling alley, okay? But he's gonna be the real deal. The Giants was up 19-3. All right, Saquon Barkley. Let me pull up the stats. Saquon Barkley did his thing in the first half. All right, he was running all over the football field. He was very electric. He was making dudes miss. He turned what should have been a loss of 3 or 4 yards into a gain of 11 yards. All right, 101 yards rushing, 13 carries for 1 touchdown, right? The second half, I don't know what got into Pat Schumer's play calling, all right? I don't know what happened, but they decided not to give the ball off to Saquon Barkley. He only had 2 carries in the second half. Are you kidding me? A guy that has 100 yards at halftime only gets 2 or 3 carries in the second half? All right, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Eagles ended up coming back. A crucial call at the almost at the conclusion of the game, in which the Giants had a chance to go up and extend their lead, or actually take the lead, in which Eli Manning threw that ball to OBJ, and he got held. And OBJ it was a crucial call. And OBJ's looking at the referee like, where's my call at? The referee looking at this brother like he got 10 horns. I mean, the way how this referee looked at OBJ, I'm surprised OBJ didn't tackle this brother. All right, it was just crazy. So, it were crucial calls, but we're not going to blame the calls on the Giants' loss.
Well,
you still can't be up.
You can't blame the call because, I mean, those happen every week. And I know
but still, it was
people
right
are going to look
face.
into it.
It was
going to say, oh, it's just because it's Odell and this and that. Those plays happen all the time, and honestly, that's just how it goes. When you're a team that's losing games, finding ways to lose games, the calls don't go your way. And obviously, you're going to have those teams that just get every single call. Those teams that are winning games, every call, they can't go against them. And it just happens, man. It's just a fact of how it is. When you're losing, when it rains, it pours. And when you're losing games and you find ways to lose games, you're not going to get calls, and that's just what happens. But you can't blame that. The fact that they were up the whole game, they should have continued to run the ball. They should have continued to milk that clock, continue to produce on offense, spread the ball a little bit, maybe throw it down the field, Odell, as he said. But, I mean, another week of this where Odell back on his complaining, didn't get his fair share. It's ridiculous. It's kind of annoying. If I'm a Giant fan, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this guy. I'm tired of this man, this wide receiver, trying to take so much from my team and making it all about him. I'd rather trade him and get players that want to play, offensive linemen that can block, guys that can rush the quarterback. Give me a whole handful of players like that. in place of him.
Let me ask you a question. Who is the best wide receiver on the Giants franchise? OBJ. So as far as I'm concerned, OBJ, yeah, it could be annoying, but when Eli Manning gets OBJ the ball, it's proven. It's shown. They are a better team.
You don't need a star wide receiver to win.
All right. You don't need a star wide receiver to win, but right now with the NFL this season, I think you may need something because you have all those flying offenses in Kansas City and San Diego, the Patriots, obviously, until somebody throw them in the AFC, they still up there. Antonio Brown over there in Steel City. You won't need some wide receivers this year. But my thing is here, the referee, yeah, they missed calls, but that was right there. I'm 1,000 miles away from the action myself. I'm watching it at home. All right, on a nice screen, big screen TV on the wall, 56-inch, 58-inch, you know what I'm saying? Nice, relaxed, watch TV on the wall. I'm watching from a fan perspective, and I can see that call. The broadcasters in the booth, high up in the stadium, could see that call. They saw the call. You mean to tell me a referee standing right there cannot see with his eyes? What are you, Stevie Wonder now? You went blind before the game? It was right then and there, and that was pivotal. That you got to call that. You can't pick and choose when you want to throw the flag. If you lazy enough to take the flag out your hand and throw it on the football field, you can't pick and choose. All right, I just can't respect that. And then on top of that, to look at OBJ like this brother had horns. I mean, you know what you did. You missed out on the pivotal call. And that call was very, 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 very crucial because the Giants would have been on the 1-yard line, first down and goal to go, and would have went up in a touchdown. So, yeah, it matters because it's pivotal to a game. Sometimes penalties don't matter when the game is out of reach or it doesn't affect the game. But that play, that call affected the game because the Giants would have went up by a touchdown. And who knows? Only the football guys knows what would have happened after that, after the Giants possibly would have scored.
No, you're right.
So, they gotta call that. They gotta call that. But the Giants, man, they had, as crazy as it sounds, they had some signs of life before that game. Eli Manning, you know how much I bash his brother on the show, but as of the last couple of games, Eli Manning has been performing to old Eli Manning standards. He's been making good passes. He's spreading the ball out to his wide receivers. OBJ had 5 yards, 85 receptions. Sterling Shepard did his thing, 37 yards, 4 receptions. Saquon Barkley out of the backfield, 7 receptions, 41 yards, a touchdown. So Eli Manning has been playing good. He still, though, has made some decisions that is costing his team points and the game because there was a play in which the Giants had a chance to, put up a score at halftime, and instead of throwing it to Barkley, who was 10 yards out, cutting inside, that would have got more yards to actually kick a field goal. You throw it down the field, and you bad pass. You know what I'm saying? You check the ball down to Saquon Barkley, 10 yards, getting field goal range. But Eli Manning didn't do that. Eli Manning has been in this league too long to not know to make that type of pass. I can make that pass playing Madden, all right, and being smart to make that pass in Madden, all right. I know I don't got an offensive line chasing a defensive line chasing me. And a terrible offensive line, but still, you've been in the league so long, you got to make that type of play. You got to. So, the Giants lost this game, and right now, to me, I don't know if they mathematically out of it, but in my estimation, my prediction, and my calculation, they out of it. The NFC East is terrible, but I think the Giants are done.
Without a doubt, they're done. That was their season last week, and now it's time to finish out the season. Eli starts this week, and then after this week, I think you start taking a look at his backup. It's time to start. You gotta take a look at him. You're not doing no good starting him.
Yeah.
So it's time.
It's time to see what these guys behind Eli Manning could do, because even if you're not trying to move on from Eli next year, you still want to see what you have in your young quarterbacks playing behind Eli Manning. All right, because with that offensive line, you never know. Eli Manning could play his last NFL game, getting hurt. So we'll see. But Carson Wentz, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Obviously a slow start to the game, but they came through at the end. Zach Ertz, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and 1 touchdown. Golden Tate, obviously, he's not really making big plays, but he's going to probably come pivotal in the playoffs. So we'll see. But the Eagles, they still no matter how you look at it, one victory is not going to change my mind about them. They still a disappointment because they should have been way better than how their record is showing. Shouldn't be 5-6. Special for Super Bowl, probably have a better team put together than they did last year. It's just that they're not performing like it. So we think that they have a worse team than they did last year. Technically, no. But, 5-6, they still have a chance to win the NFC East because that division is still terrible. Moving on over here. How does Baker Mayfield look now after calling out Hugh Jackson? Because, we all know the play, we all know what happened at the end of that game. And before we get there, we might as well give a little analysis of the game before, I got a lot to say about that. I'm going to let y'all know right now. So y'all may want to plug in some eardrums real quick. But, I'm going to dive into the game a little bit. The Cleveland Browns won this game 35-20. They now are 4-6. The Cincinnati Bengals are 5-6. Baker Mayfield, from what I watched, he moved the ball. He moved the ball. He was doing his thing. He was out there in the pocket. He was making passes to Anthony Callaway, who's a very fast wide receiver. Made a lot of big plays for him. He was doing his thing. David Njoku, or whatever his name is, Njoku, he made a spectacular grab on a play in which they was able to score the touchdown. As a matter of fact, he made a play when he caught the ball and he seemed like he was going to be stopped at the 5-yard line and got an extra push in the end zone. Congratulations, Njoku. You ain't no joke. 5 receptions, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. You go. Anthony Callaway, obviously, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 receptions. He seems like he's one of Baker Mayfield's favorites. Probably not the favorite, but he's one of them. He's very fast. He can get past defenders by the time they blink. Jarvis Landry, only 3 receptions for 30 yards. Terrible. For a wide receiver that caliber.
Landry is the fact that I have him in fantasy, and week after week I gotta start him, and he don't do nothing. It's ridiculous. In a game that they put up so much points against the Bengals like that, this man ain't getting no production. Talented player, but he ain't no good fantasy wide receiver.
It hurts when you got the fantasy and then it's terrible. But Baker Mayfield, 19 of 26, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns. Flat out good game. He's showing you why the Browns saw what they saw when they drafted him number 1. Made all the right throws, not too many mistakes, and he looked like, he was doing it for a minute. And the transparency among the wide receivers is pretty good because a lot of he's actually sharing the ball out perfectly. He doesn't rely on one target like a lot of quarterbacks do, but he's spreading the ball out a lot across the field, and he's making plays with his legs in the pocket, buying himself a lot of time, and making key throws in the back of the end zone to his wide receivers, getting them the ball. So, that's how it was. The Cincinnati Bengals continue to disappoint, continue to fall short of expectation, continue to lose. Marvin Lewis continues to still have a job. I mean, we all know he should have been fired a few years ago. 5-6, it's just the same Cincinnati Bengals team that we see. It's about time. A light got to go off in that franchise head to move on from Marvin Lewis, which I do think that this will be his last year officially. It should be, all right? And I hope they don't hand the keys to Hugh Jackson, who's, 3-36 as a head coach. You're not going to try to save your franchise with that record, I'm pretty sure. But what are your analysis of the game, Mike?
Hey, man, the Browns had turned it around. And I think it was huge getting rid of Hugh Jackson for them, and it proved it. The Browns are clicking on all levels the past couple of weeks, and Baker Mayfield's really showing that. It's the real reason why he was the number 1 overall pick. Browns are a talented team, young talented team. In the future, there'll be more and more wins each season. But right now, the same record as the Green Bay Packers that the Cleveland Browns had. So, talk about a franchise with a great step in the right direction.
The same record as the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
The Green Bay Packers had Aaron Rodgers at their disposal. Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. But
Browns,
let's get into what everybody wanted to know about this game, which was the off-the-field antics in which Hugh Jackson went up to greet Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield kind of gave him a gesture like, I don't want to be bothered really, and then he went in the press conference and said that, he plays for the other franchise, a team that, he had one foot in the door, basically saying he had one foot in the door and one foot out, and now he's coaching a franchise that we play twice a year, almost like Hugh Jackson just betrayed them, all right? Mike, I got a lot to say about that, because at the end of the day, matter of fact, y'all, I'm going to look up the definition of what the word fired means. Because some people really don't seem to understand what the word fired. You're fired means, alright? I'm not talking about fire, I'm talking about fired, okay? So I'm gonna get into the definition, alright? Being fired is a termination in which an employee job ends. Employment termination can also be involuntary. When an employee is terminated by the employer, employees can be terminated for any cause. Alright? That's what the definition of what fired means. It may be Baker Mayfield, yeah, he graduated from Oklahoma, he got a, bachelor's degree, but maybe, with all the science and math and English and history and all the stuff that colleges put in front of people, Spanish, maybe he just never learned what the word fired means, alright? With his years being in school, he doesn't know what the word fired means. But you hear it on the mic and there, alright? Fired means being terminated. So what are you saying? Why are you making it seem like Hugh Jackson is a bad guy? What, he's supposed to be unemployed for your benefits? He got fired.
And I agree. And he finally got offered another job, and that's it. He took it. What's the? I don't understand why the tension is between them. But I mean, I totally understand Baker Mayfield. He's a young quarterback. He's like, oh, he's going to the division. But I mean, come on. At the end of the day, it's a business. They're all working there, and that's it. They got fired, and another team won his resources, and that's it. I mean, I don't think there should be any cold blood towards each other, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Didn't Baker Mayfield, from my estimation, because I keep up with college football, didn't this brother play for Texas Tech in the Big 12, lost the starting job to Davis Webb, and go to Oklahoma? They rival. So what are you talking about? And then to justify that, he said, oh, well, I wasn't on scholarship. Listen, that you still transferred in the same conference. So what are you talking about, all right? I don't understand it. That was, like, literally stupid, all right? Use your brain. He got fired. He didn't just pack up and say, listen, you know what? Y'all suck, all right? I'm doing 36. My record is looking bad. Let me go over to Cincinnati being an offensive coordinator and, compete against y'all so I could beat y'all twice a year. He didn't just say that. The brother got fired. I'm pretty sure if he had an opportunity for a head coaching job and an offensive coordinator job, he would choose the head coaching job. So use your daggone brain. Use that Oklahoma degree that you got. Because I'm going to have to do a research on Oklahoma. I'm going to have to put an AP out to see what the hell they teaching y'all over there in Oklahoma. Because I want to know. Because for him to be talking like that and don't understand what the definition of being fired is, I don't want nobody to go to Oklahoma for a daggone degree. And that's what I got to say. And another thing, one more before I end on this, right? Baker Mayfield, you have some nerve. You have some nerve, all right, to be mad at a black man in America who took a job, that accepted a job. You have some nerve. Think about the privilege that you got. So you being mad at a black person for getting a job, probably would have got another offer. You have some daggone nerve. And that's what I got to say about that. Call up that request line 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. One more time, 607-753-4819. You tune in to Mike and Leel, keeping it real. It's approximately 8:31 p.m. And when we come back from commercial, we got more reactions because we talking straight football today. Don't go nowhere. We keeping it real.
Market a 3.
Open nothing, man.
Me too, dude. I'm dying.
Back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course I'm gonna go. How would I go? Okay. You can get defensive. Defensive? You call me defensive? I'm never defensive. Ask around. The last person that ever should be defensive. Okay. You're not defensive. No one deserves to call me defensive. All over. Really? Unfortunately. Look, I live here. This place is haunted by the great gentlemen and not so great. What are we gonna do? Shoot up. Be afraid of no ghost. My vision is bigger than that. We built a whole
studio in China.
Sir, it's better mind.
Sir, this is it. Let's go. Let's light 'em up. Yo, what's up? Okay, look, but don't look, but look. DeAndre Jordan. Oh, yeah. Blake Griffin. Shorter than I thought. I know, right? Someone explain to me what I'm doing here.
I went to the store to get me a drink. I came back, they ain't wait. Time out, man. Bro, you left the court. They didn't call a time out? They ain't even respecting the time out. This is the third time he's left the court. The third time.
You left the court. I called time out. If you don't stay, you don't play. It's state ball court law.
Okay, whatever.
Case dismissed. Draymond Green looking fresh in that Foot Locker gear, young fella. Thank you, sir. With all those MVPs on your team, you gotta find a way to stand out. Trust me, I know. You blood? You don't recognize me? Yo, Horace Grant. See?
He's right, you know.
Actually, I'm okay for right now. Draymond, would you care for something?
I don't work here. I'm Michelle Williams. Of Destiny's Child?
Oh. Hey, you think you can introduce me to...
James, please don't do this.
I just had the best year of my career. I gotta keep things fresh.
Well, then let's just go to Foot Locker. They got all the freshman gear.
But I have real talent.
Can I get a plan back?
Mr. Ingles, he's not studying over here. He's dreaming my game.
Can't get away with that.
Woo! Oh, don't worry about it. They can't hear me. I'm just in there.
You use your data? Verizon's got your back. Introducing the new Verizon plan. Now get 30% more data, no surprise overages, and keep the data you don't use. All on America's best network. Why settle when you can have everything?
Tuning into Mike and Leel, keeping it real on 90.5 FM. And remember that request line is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. That's the number that you're going to call to let us know how you keep it real here on this snowy Tuesday night. Because it is coming down like a ton of bricks. And you know this how Mother Nature is.
It's cold out, too.
Oh, yeah, it's really cold. My hands almost froze before I came in here.
I brought my gloves.
See, I need to start coming prepared, y'all. We need the gloves and we need the boots, for a fact. And we need some football. And speaking of football, the Texans ran all over the Tennessee Titans last night, 34-17. Is the Texans a legit threat in the AFC? Mike.
Well, they have won 8 straight. And they have been one of the most underrated teams in the NFL, in my opinion. Starting off 0-3, I remember we were like, wow, Deshaun Watson a little shaky, coming off the injury.
Sophomore slump.
Yup. But this team turned around. And there's no reason why they shouldn't have, because they got so much talent on the team. And I feel like they are one of the most underrated teams in the league because the amount of talent that they have, it doesn't even get looked at. Like, Deshaun Watson, you know how talented he is. Then DeAndre Hopkins. The wide receivers that they got, I mean, Kiki, Coach, QT, whatever, he got hurt yesterday. He's a talented wide receiver. They got a lot of guys, Lamar Miller. And then we talk about the defense, the Honey Badger, J.J. Watt, Davion Clowney. I mean, the team gets overlooked a lot. And winning 8 straight is a big deal. And winning that game yesterday against the Titans playoff team last year, I don't know about this year after that loss. The Titans made a ton of mistakes. But the problem that I have with the Texans, they are a legit threat in the AFC.
Yeah, they are.
But I don't see a threat because the way that Kansas City is playing is just on a totally different level than all of these teams. And you can never discredit New England. And I always think New England runs the AFC. I still believe this year they still might come out. Until I'm proven otherwise, you know.
Transparency on the AFC this year, but yeah, more than likely he's going to be the result.
But the Texans, they get overlooked. They are underrated. They have won 8 straight, and they are a threat. The problem is that defense, in any other building, they play totally different. When they're at home, I know you could say they can make that case for any team, but them specifically, when they're at home, they're just a totally different team. They're totally the defense alone, I should say, because the offense does come to play. The defense, they play with a ton of momentum, a ton of swagger when they're home. But when they're on the road, they have trouble. And that's when they need Watson to stand up. So if this team really wants to be a legit contender, when the playoffs come, if they're in there, which I think they're going to win that division, they got to win a game on the road. I mean, they'll be the division champs. They'll host their first game. It comes division round, they're going to have to win a game on the road. And I don't know if they're capable of doing that.
I mean, this Texans team, I would say this. I believe that this Texans team we all agree that they're all going to be a legitimate threat in the AFC. Yes, their defense sucks, but, they won 8 straight games. They started off 0-3, and we was talking about Deshaun Watson. We see a one-year fluke, or like what other people like to say, a one-trick pony, whatever you want to call it. But they won 8 straight games, and they've been looking good. They've been blowing teams out, so... maybe their defense could be a bend but not break defense. Their offense continues to put up staggering numbers. I mean, offensively, they putting up a lot of points a game, and they're not playing. And, you got one of the best wide receivers in the league. Obviously, we just crowned him. We should have crowned him by now, top 5 wide receiver in the NFL in DeAndre Hopkins. All right, I'm not talking about Bernard Hopkins. I'm talking about DeAndre Hopkins here. And, 74 yards, 5 receptions. Obviously not DeAndre Hopkins' biggest game yet, but even on a mediocre night, he still makes above mediocre plays. And I think that this Texas team is really going to be good in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? How far they can get is a different story, but I do think that they have a legitimate team that can actually make some noise in the playoffs. And Mike, like you alluded to, yeah, they struggled defensively on the road, but, I mean, right now, they didn't play to get a number 1 seed, too. They're not that far from getting a number 1 seed. So if the playoffs run through Houston, which obviously I don't really think it's going to run through Houston, but if it possibly does, or they get a bye, whether or not they're the 1 or 2 seed.
Well, they can leave the Chiefs to lose 2 games in a row, and I don't see that happen.
But they can get a number 2 seed. It's in their reach. It's in their reach. They lost 3 games. New England lost 3. The Steelers lost 3. I'm not saying that I believe they're going to get the number 2 seed, but they still in play for the number 2 seed. And they could possibly, play the divisional game home. Hypothetically, if they get the number 2 seed, they can play the game home. And get a chance.
I agree. They're both 8-3. They still could, but I do think New England's going to secure that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think so, too. Watch out for the Steelers.
Look at the remaining schedule. I mean, Houston, they have it pretty light.
Yeah, pretty light schedule.
They got the Browns.
Right.
Then they got the Colts, the Jets, the Eagles, and the Jaguars. Very favorable.
Yeah.
For New England, it gets a little tough. Minnesota.
It's always been tough, in my opinion.
Miami, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and the Jets. So, I mean,
they schedule, that's what I'm saying. Their schedule is lighter than those of New England and the Steelers. So maybe they get a bye. Who knows?
It's tighter than you think in the AFC. Come to look at it, because I mean the Chiefs do have the 1 seed, but 9-2.
Did I forget about the Chargers? Yeah,
Chargers right there. Right
I totally forgot the Chargers out of my vocabulary.
Only a game behind.
My fault. I totally forgot this. I totally forgot these San Diego Chargers.
LA Chargers. I make the same mistake.
Yeah.
It's all good. It don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. We all know what he's
doing.
doing.
Phillip Rivers is playing out of his mind. Almost a perfect passer rating on Sunday. 1 incompletion.
Chargers playing some of the best football in the league right now, and another team that's getting overlooked. I just feel like the NFC has so much power and so much talent that the AFC, these teams get overlooked. And the reason is because the dominance of New England year after year, because no other team has dethroned them in the AFC to make the Super Bowl. Exactly. So that's the reason why I believe these teams get overlooked, because everybody knows the deal come playoffs, different story. That's when New England's real season starts. This year we might be proven different. There might be a different team coming out of the AFC. I'm thinking it might be them Kansas City Chiefs. But hey, you catch a good playoff game, Chargers Chiefs, you never know what can happen, no matter where it is. In Arrowhead, tough place to play, but a division opponent like the Chargers, with how good they're playing lately, healthy Bosa, they'll have Gordon back. He's out for a few weeks, so that's going to hurt them. Melvin Gordon playing in his MCL.
Y'all going to get our power rankings later on in the show today, so definitely tune in for that. We're going to see where we rank our top 5 teams in the NFL as of right now. But I will say this. The Titans has always been showing you that they're an inconsistent team. Marcus Mariota will have a staggering game when you be like, okay, you know, I could see why he got drafted as high as he did, and then, you know, he'll have a game in which he struggles, and, you know, the Titans was up 10-0 in this game, and you thought, this might be a close game. I thought it was going to be a close game, because I'm like, this is a division rival game, and when they went up 10-0, I was like, most definitely it's going to be a close game, and out of nowhere, they just got blown out of the stadium, and the Texans basically handing their ticket back to Tennessee, so we'll see, but I'm not a fan of this Titans team. They're very inconsistent, and they have a talent on it. They're very talented.
You couldn't ask for more from Mariota last night, and I think Mike Vrabel really messed up with the play call on that 4th down. I don't understand this. When it's 4th and 1 and you're going for it, I don't understand. I mean, sometimes I get the fullback run, but they give it to the tight end. 3rd string tight end Luke Stocker. When you have Derrick Henry, who is an absolute freak of nature, this guy's a beast. With how long this guy is, I would take my chances handing the ball off to him and jumping over the pile. He's so long, you just get the ball passed, even if he gets cracked, or maybe he'll make a guy miss. I'll take my chances with Derrick Henry than Luke Stocker. And we see this over and over with teams. Even with a quarterback like Mariota, maybe him just running under center. So the middle get crashed on that play. But the defensive tackle carried and the linebacker pulled up on Tennessee, and they just nailed Luke Stocker. Derrick Henry could have possibly made a miss, bounced it outside. I'll take my chance with a run back. I don't understand the play call on that. I think that's playing scared, in my opinion. When it's 4th down, you desperately need that first. That's playing scared.
Yeah, basically.
You gotta pedal to the metal, balls to the wall, and you gotta give it your best shot. Give it to your running back, give it to your playmaker, and see what happens. If you don't get it on that play, you don't get criticism, in my opinion. All right, whatever, we didn't get it. But a play like that, then you're gonna get criticism. It's like just stupid. Like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? That's playing scared, in my opinion. That's trying to play too conservative, and they didn't get it, and that was a big turning point in the game, and that's the reason why they lost.
The Steelers fall to the Broncos 24-17 as Big Ben throws a late interception in the end zone. Oh my gosh. Excellent game. I knew this was going to be a trap game for the Steelers. I said it before it started. This was going to be a trap game. Going into the Mile High Stadium with that defense that they have. Case Keenum, because, you know, he does what he needs to do. I'll put it like that. Case Keenum does what he needs to do. He's not going to stag you, you know, with his numbers. You know what I'm saying? He's not always going to make the best decisions sometimes. But he gets the job done. You know, whether or not it's cute, ugly, sometimes he gets the job done. And he got the job done on Sunday. You know, the Broncos, they went tit for tat with the Steelers. And the Steelers really, offensively, Big Ben put up numbers. But that defense of Denver was able to hold them to. When you look at Big Ben numbers in that game, you would think they would have had like 30 points. But that's to show you. That's to give you, to show you the credit of the Broncos defense and Von Miller and them guys, because they still good. Von Miller, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the best defensive players, in the league. He still got a son in the tank. And he was making a lot of plays in that game. You know what I'm saying? So, Big Ben, obviously, with the late interception, cost him the game. Very dumb play. It wasn't even going to work. If the defender didn't make that play, there was going to be another defender that made that play because it had interception written all over it. It was going to get picked regardless. I don't know why Big Ben, made that pass. And at the end of the day, the same thing of how I came, how I came at Eli Manning early in the show when I say he made a stupid play and he has been in the league for some time now. It's the same thing I'm going to say about Big Ben. They came in the league the same year and they made two stupid key decisions, especially Big Ben with that late interception with a chance to tie the game and bring it to overtime. Yes, he was 41 of 56, 462 yards, 1 touchdown, but you had the 2 interceptions. So, at the end of the day, the Steelers are going to be the Steelers. They're going to be a team that's going to have a good record, a good seeding, and they're just going to fall short of expectations. You have the best wide receiver in the game. You have a willing quarterback that can post up numbers like this on any given night. You have offensive playmaking all over the field. Juju Smith-Schuster, how about his game? This guy literally had almost had 200 yards receiving, 13 receptions and 1 touchdown. This guy was Juju on that beat, Juju on that field. I mean, catching balls all over the football field. They did not have an answer for Juju Smith-Schuster. So Steelers have offensive weapons all over the place. They had, they went for a gutsy play call. They were gutsy. Mike Tomlin, instead of going for the field goal at the end of the half, alluded to, do a fake field goal in which they scored. You would think that would have gave them the momentum in the second half. It did absolutely the opposite. The Broncos won this game with a key interception on Big Ben.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen this week after week, Big Ben doing the same thing. Getting drives down the field. This is a bad look. They need that seed. They need that second seed. They need that.
Oh, yeah, they need that.
They really do. Because going to the Heinz Field is a tough place to play, and especially with the talent that's in the AFC, the Steelers needed that game in the worst way. And credit to Denver, because when you looked at the matchups on Sunday, we had great games on Thanksgiving. All 3 matchups were good, and the games were really good on Thanksgiving, in my opinion. They were entertaining games, and Sunday didn't really have the strongest matchups. It was kind of like a laid-back Sunday, everybody was relaxing. It was a travel day for a lot of people. There wasn't the best matchups on Sunday. But this game lived up.
And that's actually good because with all the people that was traveling, they ain't missed nothing. They ain't missed nothing.
You didn't really miss anything crazy this Sunday. This is probably the best game on Sunday. This and the Sunday night game with Minnesota and Green Bay. This was a good game. And Big Ben had the ball where they wanted it. Could have made the play action, and he just dumped it and picked off out of nose pad. Like, he was looking for Brown on the quick slant. That ball wouldn't even got there.
That ball would have been interception. It would have been an interception either way.
Bad play. He knows what he did. He knows it was his mistake. And you can't beat yourself up for it. You can't knock yourself down for it. You can't say, it's over now. Now we can't get the seed. There's a bunch of weeks left. There's 5 games left. So it's time to pick yourself up, get yourself ready, and get ready for Sunday. Because they host the Chargers on Sunday Night Football on Sunday, and that's going to be another one.
That's going to be
a huge game. Huge game for the AFC playoff picture.
And it could go either way. And you saw what happened when the Panthers came there. They're a pretty good team, and what happened to them. So we'll see.
We got a big week of football. We got a week 13. There's a lot of good matchups, and I'm excited.
And you said that the Steelers and Broncos game was probably the best game on Sunday, along with the Vikings and the Packers. But don't forget about this Dolphins and Colts game. To me, this was actually probably the best game. Andrew Luck,
but come on.
I mean, obviously you don't have the the eye-popping names, obviously outside of Andrew Luck, but it was a pretty good game. And Andrew Luck is playing as great as any quarterback in the NFL right now. He is. Andrew Luck. As the Colts extend their winning streak, they got a little winning streak going on right now. The 5 games by defeating this Dolphins team 27-24. I mean, how dangerous can this Colts team be if they make the playoffs? Because right now they look like they might sneak in. And
I do think they're gonna sneak in.
Yeah, I mean,
because the Ravens have the 6th seed right now at 6-5, and the Colts right there 6-5 right behind them. And I do think the Colts are evidently gonna sneak in and get that last wild card spot. However, I don't see them as a threat. Because when I see these other teams, I mean, yeah, you got Andrew Luck, and he's playing well. He's playing fantastic. He's kind of back,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's just too many good teams in this AFC.
I
don't see them winning the playoff game. I don't see them winning the playoff game. If they have to go into Houston, if they have to go to Pittsburgh, I just don't see it.
I don't see it either, at all. But I worry for Andrew Luck's health because as the offensive line has improved, I would say they have improved through the course of the year. The plays that they make in Andrew Luck, catching a ball like a wide receiver, you got a quarterback that just came off of neck surgery. What are you doing putting him out there as a wide receiver? I don't like those type of play calls. You should just let Andrew Luck do what he's great at, which is slinging the ball down the football field. Andrew Luck is going to be probably the number one quarterback in the league once the three-headed goats depart out of the NFL with Aaron Rodgers, Breeze, and Brady. Andrew Luck is probably going to be your number one guy. Russell Wilson may have something to say about that.
Matt Ryan.
But I think Matt Ryan is a little bit too inconsistent. Matt Ryan, there's no excuses on why the Falcons are struggling. Matt Ryan got weapons
100%.
all over.
I disagree.
Matt Ryan got weapons all over. When you talk about having a top 3 wide receiver on the football field and all that, he has weapons at his disposal, and it should be enough to be able to propel them. Yes, the defense, obviously. I know
Matt
about
Ryan's having a great season when you look at his stats. However, the Falcons are totally depleted with injuries.
They are depleted with
Their
injuries.
entire defense is injured. A lot of big names at the offensive line. The whole running game.
There's still a level that Matt Ryan has to get to, in my opinion, that he hasn't got there yet. He's been playing on the borders. He's been playing on the border of it. Yeah, he won the MVP, but he was definitely supposed to win that Super Bowl when they was up 28-3. There is a level that he has to get in order for me to call him, crown him that number one guy. He's flirting. He's on the boundary of that level, but I'm not ready to crown him yet. I think Andrew Luck is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. I think Russell Wilson possibly could be a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. Russell Wilson has a nice ball. Russell Wilson, he throws a nice ball.
Andrew Luck is better. I mean, Andrew Luck's won one playoff game. I don't think he's better than Matt Ryan.
I think he's better. I think he's way better than Matt Ryan. Exactly. I think Andrew Luck, he could sling the ball down the field. Andrew Luck, the plays that he make with his arm, Matt Ryan doesn't make that plays. And I can imagine putting Julio, Calvin Ridley, and Mohamed Sanu on Andrew Luck's offense. Are you kidding me? That's 40 points a game written all over the stat line. Or Andrew Luck has at his disposal basically is T.Y. Hilton, obviously, which is a very good talent. He's a very talented wide receiver. He's fast. He makes plays. He's very reliable. But other than really T.Y. Hilton, I mean, Eric Ebron? Pretty decent game that he had, 45 yards, 5 receptions, 2. But come on, really? Eric Ebron? Who are you, LeBron? Like, no. Andrew Luck don't really have weapons at his disposal offensively outside of T.Y. Hilton. And he still puts up GOAT numbers. 343 yards, 30 of 37, 3 touchdowns. Yes, had 2 turnovers. To me, Andrew Luck is going to be that great quarterback once these 3-headed monsters that we call GOATs leave, in my opinion. But, Mike, you think it's Matt Ryan in Central New York? I want you to call in and get into the action. Who you think is going to be that next great quarterback? Is it Matt Ryan? Is it Andrew Luck? Is it Russell Wilson? 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. We know y'all listening. Call up, get into the debate. We're going to start taking calls right now. We're going to start taking calls. So you want to start calling up. But yes, a very good game. Andrew Luck, throwing for all them yards. They came back. They were losing by 10, I believe, and, they won this game. It was very crucial because, I was happy that the Dolphins lost this game being in the AFC East, So, Andrew Luck, what a game from him. They won 5 straight games, and they showing you that, hey, Andrew Luck is still here. He's still great. Yes, he had a neck injury. Yes, he was out for 2 seasons. Yes, he started off the year poorly. But he's still Andrew Luck. And that's what I'm going to say. And moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson wins his 2nd game as a starter as the Ravens defeated the Raiders 34-17. Lamar Jackson is now 2-0. as a starting quarterback. Is it his job to lose going forward, Mike?
I don't know. It's a tough situation because in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson be making plays, but then he does some other plays that just rookie, you know? What I think they should do is the fact that when Flacco's back, they're going to use, I think Flacco's going to start, and they're just going to use Lamar Jackson as a compliment. Bring him out to do certain plays like Wildcat, some trickery, and just implement them into that offensive playbook. You have two talented quarterbacks, use them. And that's what I think Baltimore's best off doing. I think that gives them the best chance to win. We shall see another week of Lamar Jackson this week and see how he plays, how he pans out. He has this team in the playoff picture right now, and he has to continue to win games so they can secure that spot. If he continues to win games, that's his job. If he continues winning, that's his job. So yeah, it is his job to lose. But I think that they can win a game with him struggling. That's possible just because of how strong that defense is. But if that's the case, then I think that Flacco's going to go into center and they're going to use him as a compliment. And I think that's what they should do.
I think that I would say this, right? Lamar Jackson definitely has work to do. I know y'all, if y'all tune into the show over the course of time, over the course of these seasons, you know how high I was on Lamar Jackson and how high I'm still on Lamar Jackson because the potential is there. But there's work to be done in Lamar Jackson's case. You know, he still got to feel comfortable in the pocket. He makes some error throws where, you know, you could tell he's a rookie. You know, he had 2 interceptions in the game against Oakland. Not a very good defensive team. You know, but I see the potential. He made good throws also in that game. And he made good plays with his legs. And you can see, you know, the electric feel he brings to the game and what could be down the road ahead once he feels more comfortable in the pocket passing the football. Once he tighten up those mechanics that he has to tighten up, he's going to be the real deal. He has a chance to be better than, or I won't say better, but as good as Michael Vick was. He has a chance if he tighten up those mechanics and utilize his legs, in which he specializes in, and what is his comfort zone, being able to make plays with his legs. But the question here is, you know, is it Lamar Jackson's job to lose? I do think that the Ravens are going to go with Joe Flacco. But, you know, they 2-0. And, you know, I think that they should test it out with Lamar Jackson and see what happens at the end of the day. And if he struggles, you know, you have Joe Flacco right there on the bench. You bring him out. Yeah, they 6-5. You know, with a chance to make the playoffs. They're competing with the Colts for that last spot. But I think Lamar Jackson, he can move forward, all right? It's Lamar Jackson time, y'all, in my opinion, all right? It's Lamar Jackson time, in my opinion, all right? Yes, those 2 wins was against the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers, but I see flashes, and guess what? Flash, camera, action. Lamar, we'll see. But we are headed into halftime, and when we come back for hour number 2, we got more football to get into. Remember that request line is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. Call up, y'all.
Let me tell my brother J. Mike. Yo. Yeah, let me tell my brand manager and head of business development, J. Mike. Happy birthday, Mom. It's a bouquet of food.
Happy birthday, Mom. It's a house.
Nice. They got my good side. The front.
Hey, Dante, we're going to hit up Foot Locker. You coming?
Just give me a minute. I'm going through some fan mail.
That's no electric bill.
Well, I got this.
A credit card offer.
And this.
A coupon.
Got this too.
Menu.
Hi, Ray.
Hey, looks like you just hit the week of greatness at Kids Foot Locker.
Never miss it.
I never miss a Foot Locker either.
Check it out. I'm dropping like 40 as you in 2K.
Nice. I wish I could say the same, but I'm kind of struggling playing as you right now.
Where'd you get that?
In the App Store. basketball. Oh, hey, look, congrats. Hey, we're drinking the Kevin Durant signature push. Cool, you give me one? No. What are you for? All right. 101? I'm one. Come on, let's go. Wait, you roll? Here we go. Bring it, Durant. Woo. All right, hey, Durant, check. Quick check. Double check. Up there. Check. Yeah, I know. There we go. All right, good. Ball in. One more time. Come on. Quick check one. Here we go. Check one more. A little play? There we go. We just got to check it. Yeah. All right. Here, coming down. Coming down. Good ball. Good ball. There we go. Actually, I didn't check it for tone. Can I do that more? I think it looks light. Looks light. Nice. Right color. Regulation color. Looks good. All right. There we go. Spin. Well, there we go. Final check. Final check. Yep. Yeah, good bounce up here. Good bounce. All right. Bounce is right. Now what are you going to do? You got me. Now what are you going to do? Let them. Why is everyone doing it? We're inspired by the new HCB 100 calorie video. Perfect place to work out, Matt. Don't look ridiculous. Especially for my mom made it. Opa. Once you trail in your favor, you will know where I want to. Yeah. No. I don't even.
Hour number 2, Mike and Leel, keeping it real. Hour number 2 starts right now. Y'all know what it is. Once again, the request line is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm forgetting to turn on the mics. It's crazy. But you know what we do. Y'all know what we do. We keep it real. So definitely hit up that request line. And it's time to get into the rest of the games from Week 12. In 5 minutes, we're going to finish recapping the rest of the NFL football games that took place in Week 12. So let's get it on, Mike. Starting with, the Thanksgiving games. There was a couple good Thanksgiving games, and we're going to recap that. So obviously, the Bears won the first game, 23-16, being the Lions. Chase Daniels came in and made the plays to win the game.
And that defense is for real, man. I think Chicago is a very dark horse candidate in the NFC. That's a scary team. Wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. That defense, if you have to go into Soldier Field for a playoff game, it's going to be a tough one because they find ways to win games. They're a good team. They do what they got to do on offense. They got enough talent. That defense is very scary. And
very scary. They're probably top. They're probably number 1 defensively in the league, in my opinion. I think they right up there amongst the best.
100%.
The Redskins obviously lost, fell short against the Cowboys, 31-23. The Cowboys right now, maybe.
I mean,
NFC
Colt McCoy starting. Cowboys are able to take advantage. Their defense played very well. They have a really good pass rush. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, and Cooper. Big game. Big couple games for Amari Cooper ever since coming to the Cowboys. And then a nightcap. My New Orleans Saints.
The New Orleans Saints. Who that?
Unbelievable. That defense played fantastic. And hey, the way they beat the Falcons, if that defense can do that week in and week out, I mean, this has to be the scariest team in the NFL.
And what makes
they're number 1 against the run.
And I remember just telling you this, like, during a commercial break, or before the show started, actually. What makes the Saints even more dangerous is that they play together. They like a family over there. They over there having fun. It's almost like a sorority over there, like a brotherhood. You see Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram getting along really well. And if a team like that can play as good as they playing and still have that family-like oriented atmosphere, they're gonna be very hard to stop.
100%, man. They play for each other. They're just a tough team. That defense always gets criticized. But they are a good unit. They are a good unit, and week after week, they've been just getting better and better. And it's getting to that point where it's like, all right, they're playing really well. They're playing really, really well. See, when I watched that game a couple weeks ago, the Rams and Chiefs on Monday Night Football, you see both defenses just get totally embarrassed. The fact that there were so many turnovers on both sides of the ball, and the fact that those amount of points was able to be put up, these defenses were no-show. In my opinion, if the Saints was playing in that game, that wouldn't happen. The Saints defense, that would not happen to their defense. Yeah, I know they only 34 to the Rams. 34 is a big difference in 50, man. Big difference. I just don't see that happening to that defense. They're playing at a different level. And We're looking at them in the primetime spotlight on Thursday night.
Yes, sir. And to cap off the rest of these games real quick, the Buccaneers defeated the 49ers 27 to 9. Jameis Winston played a very good game. He looked good, but, they have a decision to make. Is Jameis Winston going to be that quarterback going forward? We'll see. The Patriots obviously defeated the Jets 27 to 13. The Jets jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but the Patriots came right back with Tom Brady throwing a deep ball to Gronkowski. Gronkowski is back, y'all. The Gronk Master is back. All right. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Gronk Master Flex. I like that. Moving on, the Chargers, obviously, we talked about Phillip Rivers, or we didn't, and I'm going to get into this real quick. Phillip Rivers played himself a game. To me, he was the player of the week in Week 12. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The game that Phillip Rivers had, I was watching something great with Phillip Rivers in that game. The Cardinals jumped out to a 10-point lead, 10-0, and the Chargers scored 45 straight on the bucket. All right? Phillip Rivers, 259 yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 of 29, 1 incompletion. Oh my gosh, Phillip Rivers. 1 incompletion, throwing it all over the field like that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Keenan Allen, 72 yards, 7 touchdowns. The transparency among the wide receivers. 1 touchdown. Austin Eckler, 68 yards, 10 receptions. All right. Travis Benjamin. Mike Williams scored 2 touchdowns. 1 jump ball where he made a spectacular catch. Antonio Gates, yeah, he got one reception, but 18 yards. I mean, hey, the old fella could do something. He could catch a ball or two. The Chargers are a really good team, and you're going to see why I have them ranked in my power rankings in a few minutes. Matter of fact, right now, let's get into it right now. All right, my updated power rankings. All right, the top 5 teams on my list after Week 12 goes as follows. At number 5, I know y'all might question me about this, but go ahead. You have a request line, you can call it up. Or should I say, we have a request line, you can call it up. 607-753-4819. At number 5, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 5. A spectacular game that it was. Probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Wow. Yup, I got the Chiefs at 5. One of the best games I've seen in a long time against the Rams. I mean, that game was awesome. That game had everything you wanted to see. Defensive plays being made. Obviously, the offense. 55 to 52 was the final score. It was unbelievable. That game was unbelievable. One of the best games I've ever seen. It's probably going to be the game of the year. I don't see no game topping that unless these two teams meet again in the Super Bowl, which is not highly unlikely. So, we'll see. But at number 5, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 4, I got the Los Angeles Chargers at number 4. I believe that this Chargers team is as good as the Kansas City Chiefs and might be even better by a little bit. Not by a lot. I feel like this is going to be, when these two teams play each other again, this is going to be a good game. Because the Chargers, to me, in my opinion, the Chargers did not know how good the Kansas City Chiefs were when they played them the first game of the regular season. It was the first game of the regular season. They didn't know too much about Pat Mahomes. They knew he had a big arm. But to me, they were shocked on how good they were. And they wasn't ready to, in that game. You saw they narrowed the gap at the end. And, probably if they played an extra quarter, probably would have came back and won that game. I believe that the Chargers is better than the Kansas City Chiefs. They have offensive weapons all over the football field, just like Kansas City do. But you have Phillip Rivers, a guy who's been there and done that. You have all these wide receivers that they got. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Travis Benjamin. They have wide receivers all over the court. Melvin Gordon, obviously, his injury hurts, but he will be back at some point in time in this season. They have offensively, they're really good, and defensively, they're really good, unlike Kansas City. So I believe that the Chargers are a better team, and that's why they're number 4 on my updated power rankings. At number 3, until somebody throws this team in the AFC, they always going to be up there. The New England Patriots, led by the GOAT, Tom Brady. Number 3, the New England Patriots. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. I do think that this is really close with the Rams and the Saints. I believe that whoever gets home court in the playoffs is gonna win that game, that matchup against either. So if the Saints continue to hold on to the number one seed, to me, the Saints more than likely will represent the Super Bowl. If the Rams get home field advantage, to me, more likely will represent the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna make no predictions yet. Obviously, we're gonna save that to next week on our final ever episode. We're gonna make an updated Super Bowl prediction, obviously. So tune in for that. But number 2, I got the Los Angeles Rams, and number 1, Mike. You already know Mike's team, the New Orleans Saints. Who that?
I respect it. My number 5 team, I went with the LA Chargers. They're playing at a high level of football right now. Philip Rivers is playing really well. Maybe the best football of his career. The Chargers are a really talented team. Another overlooked team in the AFC, and a team that can put up a lot of numbers, and a team that creates some magic and creates some drama down the stretch. I believe that in the playoffs, they're a scary team to play. No gimme for any of these teams. And they very well have a chance of making it out of the AFC. I wouldn't discredit them. I wouldn't doubt it. They're a very well team. They're playing really well right now, and they got the weapons to do so, especially once Melvin Gordon gets healthy. That's a bad injury to an MCL, but a strain or whatever they said that he had. He'll be out a few weeks back in the playoffs. That's crazy. At number 4, I got New England Patriots. Never count them out. Tom Brady, Gronk is back. You saw those catches that he made against the Jets, man. That's just insane. Just throwing up for his man, big fella, go get that. Gronk Master Flex, man.
Gronk Master Flex. You already know.
At number 3, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. MVP runner-up Patrick Mahomes. They're just playing out of control. That offense is almost impossible to stop, especially at Arrowhead. That defense, ton of questions, ton of problems. They need a big pick-me-up. They got an easy Oakland Raiders team this week. And hoping their defense can feed off that, get some energy, and get some confidence, because they lack confidence right there. At number 2, I got the LA Rams. Only reason why they're number 2 is because they lost to the number 1 team.
Exactly.
And there's nothing to say about the Rams. I mean, their defense, yes, it's taking a hit, and it's not as good as we thought. Has so many names on it, but it's not as good. But they get a big boost this week as Keith Lee comes back. And that's been a key part missing in their defense, especially that secondary. And
because Marcus Peters, to me, haven't lived up to the expectations.
100%, man. And it's going to take a lot of pressure off him. So then he'll be able to get to relax, have that veteran leadership out there and to lead. I think they'll be fine. And it's kind of scary now with him coming back. It's like, damn, how good could this Rams team be?
This Rams is going to be really good. They're going to be really good. It's going to be a nice...
I think it's going to be the NFC Championship game, Saints Rams.
I think so too.
It might come down to who's hosting it.
Yeah.
And I think it might be New Orleans. I hope it's New Orleans. But we shall see, man. And that's who's number 1. I got my Saints, not being biased at all. In my opinion, they're just playing the best football in the league. They're playing on a totally different level. When you watch some of these games and you watch some of these teams, it's just like, wow. These teams just not even on the same page as like the Chiefs, the Saints, the Rams. Just no one's playing on this level. And they're playing out of control. Drew Brees, MVP so far, in my opinion. He's no doubt the MVP of the year. You can't stop them on the ground with Kamara and Ingram. Just too much of a threat. The wide receivers, the defense is playing nasty. That's my number 1 team, man. And until they lose the game, I don't see anything else otherwise.
And when we come back from commercial, Mike is going to give his final statement for the week on this episode. And we're going to get to some college football. I'll give my final statement, and we'll give the predictions for the Thursday night football game Saints at the Cowboys. You tune in to Mike and Leel, keeping it real, and we'll be back after these brief messages.
Answer my final take on business.
Yeah, you good. Yeah. As soon as we come back, we will jump right in there.
Alright. My final take is at the same.
Alright,
you know how you have the thing, it's like, what a rivalry is not a rivalry?
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be like, how far could we take it? You know what I mean?
That's how you gonna start off?
Yeah.
Naming the title.
How far could we take it?
Sure did. You can't feel like it. You got so much stuff. Yo, come on, man. I got
Let's do this now, so you don't hear it on the microphone. You put on my shit.
Okay. Yeah, you hear everything through the microphone.
I know. You hear this.
Like, every time you move, like a little bit, yeah.
The other kids coming early?
He got soccer practice before that. I don't know. He probably should have canceled it.
We might not have class tomorrow.
Word?
His class done. I hope if it keeps coming down, we're supposed to get a storm.
I hope not, because I gotta extend.
I left the speed from here.
I gotta extend. I'll be glad about it.
Is that why they want to come early?
Well, not really, kind of, but then not really, because I was, I just tell early because I'm just like, it's a good weekend. Plus, we got the finale, like, our final show next week, so, like, yeah.
I got that work to do.
So we definitely have a special episode next week. We gotta make that. We gotta make that. We'll make that real good.
Yeah, bro. Everything.
I think what we're gonna do is we should like invite.
I think we should just we could talk about all our past episodes.
That's what I'm saying. Like play kids. I was thinking about that. I definitely thought about that. Like the biggest moments, the funniest moments.
Out lists and shit,
yeah.
all cool stuff like that.
Yeah, so
Obviously, recap the game.
recap the game and then
That could be the first hour. So yeah,
right.
And then
Yeah, that sounds
talk
right.
about what you got for next semester.
Right, that sounds good.
Definitely not doing this in finals.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I think I gotta stay all the way through. I don't even know my final schedule, bro. I'll be tight if I just stay all the way through.
Tight, bro. I'll be living.
Sick.
I'm gonna drop. I have the hype video ready. I'm gonna drop that. They're having a fight, like a little fight.
Yeah, you sent me that. Who's fighting?
It's a world heavyweight fight. So it's gonna be good. Like world heavyweight. Down there in Fury.
Yeah, but we could bring
Okay.
this back.
So if you want, you would think the guys over there.
You know, South
What you do
Carolina.
that again, bro?
Big shit, nigga.
I haven't experienced my fair share of greatness. I mean, you're definitely good, but
It's alright.
great. I'm a 9-time All-Star.
That's more of a popularity.
Alright, babe.
I won a national
I don't know. Her shoe brand is always
I have 3 gold medals.
Against, like,
Word.
Peru. You guys spend a lot of time commenting on the internet.
That's good. You want me to say the same speech?
What?
You want me to say the same speech?
Say whatever.
Alright.
Whatever you want, bro. It don't matter. You don't have to.
There we go. All right. Kids don't know nothing now.
I'll tell you something.
Everyone thinks they're a coach. But to take your kid's game to the next level, you need the right coach giving the right advice. Personalized coaching and group training in over 30 sports. Coach Up. How good can you be?
Count it.
I say 0 isn't the starting point. It's the destination. When you have 0 left, zero compromises, 0 regrets, and 0 excuses, you're on your way to greatness.
Mike and Leel, keeping it real. Tuesday, November 27th. Shout out my brother Joe. Happy birthday to him. He's 29 today. Brother's getting old.
Happy birthday, Joe.
607-753-4819. 607-753-4819. Another episode in the books here for Mike and Leel. I mean, we're about to give our final takes and cut it up, and we know that we got our last episode next week. Next Tuesday,
episode, y'all.
We got a lot of crazy stuff planned. We're gonna talk about the games. Obviously, we got you with all the sports. We got you with all the news, hip hop, and all that. You know the flavor that we bring to the radio, and we're gonna bring you some special clips of all our best moments, some of our lists, our cut downs, everything. We want all the people that have called in the past to call again. We wanna talk to everybody. We wanna close out the right way and do it good. And yeah, that's about it, Lil.
Facts, man. You know, like I said, all good things do come to an end, and it's gonna be a bright future for the both of us, obviously, in this business as we move on
with our future for our radio station as well. Yeah. WSUC, man, this Cortland Radio has been doing bigger and better things each year. Each semester it gets stronger. Each semester it gets bigger. More students joining. And we're getting the word out a lot. And we got that Mike Fest, that Fire Mike Fest coming up that everybody's been planning. And we got to start putting some advertisements around for that. Definitely got to look forward to that, man.
February 8th.
February 8th at Fire Mike Festival. We had no spring fling. We don't have a spring fling, man. Come on. We don't even got to worry about it. This Fire Mike Fest is going to be lit. We got live performances. We got some
artists coming up, man. Giving lectures.
Yeah, we got Mike and Leel showing up again. So,
I wasn't going to blow it off, but Mike, you blew it off. You blew it off. It's going to be a surprise.
We got to tell them.
But yeah, we're going to be back for that. Me and Mike will be the on-air DJs for that event. After, so, you know, once we go off air next week, you know, we're going to build it up as we're going to partner up for this Fire Meg Fest. Definitely add my YouTube channel, Real Leel Sports. Once again, Real Leel Sports, REALLEEL Sports. Real Leel Sports. You know, I'm going to be dropping the hype video for our final episode on Saturday before the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. And I will play the hype video, obviously, on the show next week to start off the show. So we got a lot of good things going for us. You know, a lot of accolades. We accomplished a lot, you know, as a whole on this show over the years, especially this season, which has been our best seasons. Ratings has been going up. Our numbers have been improved since last season, way more.
And all due to the success of our radio station.
Yeah.
And Lil has a show Thursday night. You can definitely check that one out. Definitely listen to that
on the 90.5
Cowboy game on Thursday.
Yup.
100%, man. And as we put an end to this episode, I'm gonna end with my final take. And my final take is gonna be by my New Orleans Saints, of course. Of course, I'm gonna be biased. I know Central New York. You're probably tired about hearing about the Saints. They're the top team in the NFL right now, so you can't get enough of them. Can't get enough of them no matter where you go. ESPN, NFL Network, and even Michael Leel. Like, you're gonna hear about it. And I just want to say, how far can we take it? How far can we take it, New Orleans? 5 games left in the season. The next 3 on the road. At Dallas, at Tampa, at Carolina. That's Monday Night Football. And 2 home games, Pittsburgh and Carolina. I want to know how far they could take it. Can they run the table go 16-1? I mean, I'm sorry, 15-1. I apologize. Can they run the table go 15-1, win out? 15 straight, going to the playoffs, number 1 seed? Can they do it? I mean, I don't see why not. Tough schedule coming up a little bit. I mean, the 3 on the road, of course. It all starts Thursday night. Back-to-back Thursday games. Not a big fan of. I just don't know how far they can take it. If they can win these games, if they can get a bye in the playoffs, that's huge. That's a plus. But if they can get the number 1 seed in the playoffs, that's a mega plus. The home field advantage throughout. And we all know how that Superdome gets. We all know how the Superdome be and how hard it is to play. For opposing teams to hear, to go in there and play a game against those New Orleans Saints when that stadium is at its max capacity, it's no walk in the park. These fans will work with the team. They'll go quiet when the Saints are on offense, and man, they'll be loud when that team is when they on defense, man. And it is scary. I just want to know how far the team can take it because I know they can win this. They can bring it to the Super Bowl and they can win it because they're playing the best football. I don't think anybody can stop them. I just want to know, Central New York,
how far can they take it? Excellent piece right there. And Mike, real quick, before you roll up out of here, before I roll up out of here very soon, Thursday night football, obviously, let's get into some predictions real quick. Saints versus the Cowboys. Saints on the road at Jebu's World. And, you know, in my estimation, I'll say it right now. The Saints is going to walk all over the Cowboys in that game Thursday night. I don't think the Cowboys have a chance. I don't think it will be that close. Yes, they have been playing good as of late, the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott has been getting his touches running the football. But guess what? When the Saints go marching in, oh yeah, they go marching in.
I'm looking forward to Thursday. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's a gimme, man. A lot of people saying
Really?
it's a gimme. Cowboys playing really good football, and they need this game. Their defensive pass rush is really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to see our offensive line against it. DeMarcus Lawrence today has called out the offensive line and said a lot of, he was talking some heat, man. He was cursing out, Sean Payton cursed out the offensive line, saying that he's going to hit him in the explicit mouth. I can't say the words, obviously, on the radio. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a grudge match. I think it's going to be a nice battle. I think Sean Payton's going to be a little petty in his play calling now because DeMarcus Lawrence calling out. The one thing I'm interested in seeing is that the Saints have the number one rush defense in the league. And they've had this since the beginning of the season. I can't tell you the exact week. Pretty sure it'd be right in the beginning. But hey, the Saints are number one against the rush, and I'm looking forward to that battle with them against Ezekiel Elliott. I think it's going to be a good matchup all day to watch. I want to see how they can excel against a really good running back. In my opinion, top running back, if not top three, I mean, come on. Yeah, he's top three running back in the NFL, Ezekiel Elliott, in my opinion. And I'm just really looking forward to that matchup. See how they can cause pressure, how they can affect them, and see if they can hold them in check. I'm going with the Saints, of course. If I would go to a final score, I'm going to go with the Saints. I think they're going to be able to put up points against the Cowboys. I'm going to go Saints 35, Cowboys 17.
Wow, that's crazy because I thought you had it close. Oh, you think it's going to blow off late?
Blow off late.
I have the Saints going 34 points. I have the Saints winning 34 to, I say 34 to 20.
34-20? All right.
Or 34-21 rather. 34-21, New Orleans Saints will win the game. And
I'm not good with scores. I'm not going to front. I'm not good with predicting scores and all that. Some people like doing that, predicting scores. I like picking against the spread and the bets and all that. When it comes to score, I'm just spitballing, man, like we all, right?
Yeah. So I would definitely have that live look into that Saints and Cowboys game on my other radio show, The Real Leel Show, this Thursday, 8 p.m. on the 90.5 FM airwaves. You can also catch it on the WSUCFM.com radio website, and you can also catch it on my YouTube channel, which I stream live, Real Leel Sports. Definitely subscribe to that. I'll definitely give live updates, outside of the radio station with on-spot reactions and predictions to games that are going to be closing, that already closed, or going to begin. So you definitely want to subscribe to that channel, Real Leel Sports. I definitely have a lot of material on that show, and you know what else you can do when you subscribe to that channel and you hit the bell icon? You can also see previous Mike and Leel radio episodes on my YouTube channel in case you want to relive some of the experiences.
Everybody.
Exactly, man, because y'all know we coming to a close, so you definitely want to subscribe to the channel and view all the latest videos from Mike and Leel. And next week we're going to have our list from our top 10 most viewed episodes. We're going to announce that on the show on our final ever episode. It's going to be a hell of an episode next week, and you do not want to miss it by any means. Whatever you do, you want to find that radio station, you want to find something in the car, plug that aux in. You don't want to miss that episode. It will be the best episode in our history, and I'm letting you know that from Jump Street. So whatever you got planned, my suggestion is you try to involve this show inside your plans, or change your plans, mark that calendar, December 6th or December 4th, whatever day it is, whatever day, Tuesday, definitely want to tune into that. And I'm basically end this show off like this. You saw Mike, he gave his very good final statement, and I'm going to give my very good final statement real quick. Listen, my final statement is going to be called, When a Rivalry is Not a Rivalry. And basically, where I want to go with this is, we just saw the Michigan Wolverines, who were ranked number 4 with a chance to make the college football playoff, got stomped on the road against the number 10 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, 62-39. And no, I did not just make an error. That was the right score, 62-39. A team led by Coach John Harbaugh You know, the guy with the hat, the khakis. You know, the famous khakis that this brother wear. All right. And my thing is, listen, when you a team as the Michigan Wolverines with all the stakes, high stakes, you know, all you gotta do is win 2 games, and one of the games is a team that you should be wanting to beat, all right, that beat you for the last couple of years, and you have a chance, more playing for yourself than they have, and you come out flat, and not only come out flat, it's not like they lost a close game by a field goal, 23-20. We talking 62-39. When they came back and scored, two touchdowns, or they scored twice in 13 seconds, I thought, okay, finally, the Michigan Wolverines woke up. All right, the Wolverine has woke up. All right, and he's scratching all right. And I thought that was the tool that they needed to have a better second half. And boy, did they come out worse. So my title here is when a rivalry is not a rivalry, because you cannot call a rivalry if there's one team always beating that other team. We see it a lot. We even see it with Bedlam, you know, college football, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma has owned the Cowboys for the last 3 years, the last 3 seasons, all right? And majority, in all time, I think Oklahoma State has only won a few of those games in the series. So my thing is, yeah, we like the rivalries. There's a lot of good rivalries in sports. You got the Lakers and the Celtics. That's a rivalry right there, in my estimation, because you didn't know who was going to win each year, right? When you have rivalries all across sports, because we love rivalries. Rivalries is what makes the game more intense, more fierce, and you want to watch it. Rivalries is one of the components that makes sports what sports is today. When you have a rivalry, a so-called rivalry, where a team is just beating the other team year in and year out, sort of like Ohio State is doing to Michigan. You think about what happened to Ohio State this year, and the situation with Urban Meyer to start off the year, to lose to a Purdue team the way they did. You would, offensively, took them a while to really get going. I mean, you saw what Maryland did to them, ran all over the court against them. They should have lost at Maryland. The quarterback couldn't complete a play at the end of the game. You saw it. They were liable. They could be beaten this year. When you have the stakes as high as Michigan has had, and Ohio State, that really, this is not the best Ohio State team for the last couple of years. This is the worst team that they had in the last couple of years, even though they only lost 2 games, or 1 game rather. When you have an opportunity to be on a revenge tour and win against your rival, right? You need to take that opportunity. So in my estimation, this Ohio State, Michigan, as of right now, is no rivalry in my eyes. Because a rivalry is a rivalry when 2 teams beat each other year in and year out. And not only, you take your L. But rivalries or close rivalries where you have the fights. All right? Games are close. Games go down to the wire. You lose this year, you may lose again next year, but you win, you be on your revenge tour the year after that. That's what a rivalry is. A rivalry is not a team that keeps losing each year and gets thrown out 62-39 with all the stakes in their corner. That's not a rivalry. And with that, I'm out.